So starting the test drive in this 1500 Sierra, I just drove this back to back with a Turbo Max so I could compare. And definitely with this having 4 more cylinders, it's quicker on the low end, but doesn't feel as quick as you start getting up in the RPMs. Obviously it's quicker, but just in terms of how it feels compared to having a turbo, it's not the same. Now I will say with these thinner tires, as I've been driving around the parking lot and then pulling out on the road here a couple times, the tires are just a tad squeaky. It's a new truck, so that might have something to do with it. All right, I'm gonna give myself some space here. Here we go. Yeah, that did quite a bit more than I was expecting in the normal drive mode. But obviously it has the power. So I'm gonna turn on the adaptive cruise. Now you don't get the lane centering here, which has always been a nuisance for me, especially because this truck is almost $72,000. Pretty much everyone else provides that now for that price point, but you do get a nice looking truck. And there's definitely something up here. I'm thinking these wheels need to be balanced a bit better because I am getting a bit of shake here in the truck itself. But overall, the ride coming down the road, very, very smooth. And I like how quiet it is in the cabin as well. But just behind the wheel here, I feel like I'm in a very luxurious pickup truck. But again, for $72,000, I ought to feel this way. And this is just a good way to spec out a truck if you want everything except the stuff that's included in the Denali package, which you might not miss. But we don't have a sunroof, but other than that, I mean, we have adaptive cruise, LED lights throughout, the new Google Assistant system or newer system, and then everything else is included here. Now I want to give a big thanks to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for allowing me to review this truck today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now, Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro, I'm so glad I'm partnered with them just because they offer the lifetime powertrain warranty on a lot of their used inventory and pretty much all the new vehicles that have a traditional gas engine and transmission setup. Now the EVs, they don't get that same warranty just because the battery and the electric motors, things of that nature. I feel like in the next 10 years though, that'll change, especially as it gets cheaper to repair batteries and things of that nature. So that'll be a nice extra to have getting a vehicle from here. Now, I hear a lot about lifters when it comes to these V8s from GM. And I've heard of some people that get 200,000 miles without having lifter issues. And I've heard of people that have 60, 70,000 miles have lifter issues on their V8s in the Tahoe, Sierras, and whatever. But again, just having those extra warranties in place just makes that easier to deal with. But I also see a lot of these, I'd say the majority of these get 100, 120,000 miles. They get traded in and then resold and they don't have lifter issues. But overall, for a truck, just comparing everything apples to apples, I like the interiors on the GMCs compared to the Fords. I feel like they're a bit more luxurious. Obviously, if you go up to a Ram, specifically the Longhorn Laramies, those trim levels, those are probably the better looking interiors, just because of how the screen's set up and just how everything's set up in those. Ever since 2019, those have just been the best interiors in my opinion. But GMC has definitely come a long way as opposed to the outgoing 2018 interiors there. But $72,000, you almost have everything. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 SLT.